Welcome back, accounting boffins. Remember, we're busy with VAT. Quick recap, summary of what we've done so far. We know that when we're dealing with our VAT, we take into consideration the VAT rate to be 15%, right? The ethical considerations, internal control, very important in relation to VAT. You have to know what and how to answer questions of that nature. Remember that you have VAT zero rated items, you've got exempted items, and then very important are your two VAT accounts, one indicating the amount of VAT you can claim back from SARS, which is your VAT input, and the other one is the VAT that you pay over to SARS, namely your VAT output. Okay, so now we have here, you are supplied with information relating to Hearties traders registered as a VAT vendor. All goods are subjected to 15% VAT. Okay. Complete the missing information in the columns supplied on the answer sheet. Calculate the amount due to or receivable from SARS and indicate whether the amount is payable or receivable from SARS. So obviously, once you complete your calculation, you now have to determine whether the amount is due to SARS or due from SARS. Okay? But when we get to that part of the question, we'll answer that. Here we go. Firstly, we are given cash sales of 1,200,000. Important, it's appearing under VAT exclusive. Remember that that amount does not include your VAT amount. So, if I do my calculation, this is what I'm going to do. 1,200,000. Have I got enough zeros there? 1,200,000 times my 15%, which will give me my VAT amount, which is 180,000. Okay, let's check now if we have our calculation done. Here we can see, there we go. Watch what it is. It's your 1,200,000, which is exclusive of VAT. Add the 15% VAT to it, like I showed you in the calculation, to give you an amount of 180,000. So, what is the 180,000? That is the VAT on our sales, meaning it's an output VAT. It's the amount of VAT that we have collected from the end user, from the consumer, which we now have to pay over to SARS. So, clearly you can see, there we are, there's the 180,000, which is my VAT that I have to, which is my output VAT, amount that I need to pay over to SARS. Keep that in mind, that this is the VAT that I've collected from the customers. Remember, as a VAT vendor, you're an agent of SARS. You're collecting on their behalf to be paid over to them. Okay, next one we go to is our credit sales, which is 805,000. But notice the difference now is you are given the amount as VAT inclusive, right? It changes completely in terms of your calculation. Watch my calculation now. What do I say? Once again, I take the amount of 805,000. Let's do that. 805,000 and times the 15, because that's my VAT rate, divided by 115, which is my amount inclusive of VAT. Therefore, notice from my calculation, it gives me a figure of, here we go, there's the figure 105,000. Again, you can see that this figure here would give me my output VAT of 105,000. Let's look at the amount. There we go. So, the difference between the two calculations is important. Both of them are output VAT, but in one case, it was exclusive of VAT. As you can see, you then had to work out the VAT amount by adding 15% to that amount. In the second calculation, guys, again, it's output VAT, but clearly you can see the 805,000 includes the VAT, and therefore your calculation of 15 over 115. Okay. The next one you have there is bad debts of 21,750, right? let's do that calculation. You can see 21,750. Here we go. Let's do the calculation. 21,750 times the 15 divided by 115 will give me a figure of, let's just check if I got the figures right. Clearly, let's see. Okay, sorry. Again, watch. Important consideration. I need to start practicing what I preach, which is read the full question. Maybe it was a deliberate error to show you. Watch where it appears. Bad debts exclusive of the VAT amount. Let's get that figure here. Here we go. It's my bad debts exclusive of the VAT amount. Therefore, watch my calculation. What will it be? 21,750 times the 15%, because it's an exclusive amount, to give me a figure of, why am I not getting the figure? Let's try it again. Let's just check it out again. There's something that we're not doing right. 21,750 times the 15% should give me the VAT amount, which is 326250. Okay, so all that we do now is we change that figure, because this figure now is incorrect. It's 326250. Let's change that figure to 326250. Right. Okay. The next one that we have here is our equipment purchase at 145,800. Again, let's do our calculation. 145,800. 145,800 times the 15% will give me a figure of 21,870. Voila, that one is correct. So we go back into our calculation here, and we've got the 21,870. Okay, now you find you have items here called rent income, you have interest on loan, and you have staff refreshments. Okay, now let's look at this, each item individually. Firstly, if you look at rent income is not subjected to VAT. So clearly given to you to test your knowledge to see, are you included as input or output? Definitely you can see that that does not feature as far as my VAT calculation is concerned. Number two, interest on loan, again, no VAT on it because it's a financial transaction which is tax exempt. So therefore will not be part of my VAT calculation. Number three, refreshments. But I've paid for the refreshments. Surely I can claim back the VAT? No, there are certain expenses on which you cannot claim back the VAT. Therefore, refreshments is one of them. It falls within the category of any vendor, even if you pay for refreshments, you can't claim back the VAT on it. Therefore, it is excluded in my calculation. Right, the last one we have here is our stationery, and clearly we can see here, if we take our stationery amount of 23,000, 23,000 is the inclusive amount times 15 divided by 115 will give me a figure of 3,000 Rand. So here we go, we got the figure of 3,000 Rand. Okay, now what have we done here? We've calculated all the VAT amounts. Remember that these amounts here, I'm going to draw a line here indicating that there's no VAT necessary and no calculations necessary. So you need to read and see which items would impact on your VAT calculations and which items, for what reasons, would not impact on your VAT calculations. Okay, what we do now is we go to the next slide and we say complete the information. We've done that. Let us now do our calculations. And remember, in this one here, I think we have one change to make. I think it was in the input VAT. Let's just do that, make that change and see if we got the correct figure. Starting off from the 3, let's add it, let's add our figures again. It's the 3262.50, 3262.5 plus 21,870, right? Have I got that figure? Plus the 3,000 will give me a total figure of 2813,250. So this is the amount that we need to change, right? 2813,250. Let's change it. 2813,250. Okay. Remember, because of that error, the change here, we made a change with the credits with the bad debts figure, and as a result, this total now changes to 2813,250. So therefore, 2813,250. Let's change this here. 2813,250. Right. Now we've got the correct figures. Clearly, you can see you added all your VAT outputs amounts to give you a figure of 213,000. You then added your input figures to give you 2813,250. Again, it's going to impact on this calculation here, so let's change it. 2813,250. Right. Now, a question arises, interesting that it happened here, so we can use it to our advantage. What if you make a mistake in your calculations, but when you're working out your amount that you need to, as the final figure, you will notice that this is what we call in accounting an accepted mark, a method mark. So these would be method marks here. Let me indicate to you that's what we mean by a method mark. It means that answer is based on a previous calculation. And as a result, there's no double penalty applied for you. Okay? So you can see how that a previous error will not impact on your final answer. If it does, you will not be penalized. Okay, this means that our total VAT output was 213,000. Let's get that figure. 213,000, right? Minus our input figure of 28,132.5. And this gives me a figure of 184,867.50. Let's get that figure, 184,867, 184,867.5. Right? Let's just check that figure one more time there. There we go, 184,867.50. Right. Okay, so now, this means that you have collected from SARS a total amount of 213,000. You have collected on behalf of SARS an amount of 213,000. You can claim back from SARS the amount that you have paid, the input VAT of 28,132 Rand and 50 cents. Okay, now you contrast the one against the other in order to determine what's the final amount payable to SARS. Clearly you can see it's your 213,000. It's your 213,000 minus the 2813,250 to give you a final figure of 184,867 Rand and 50 cents. So the amount is payable to SARS. A question arises, can it be a situation where SARS owes you money? Certainly it does. Allow me to explain. Let's assume that you are trading. It's a new business that you've started. So you have input VAT of 100,000 because obviously that was the goods that you have purchased. You can claim back that, but you just started trading. Okay, now remember this is another example, so I'm going to do it in a different color for you. So, and your output in this case is only 20,000. You just started trading and you've only collected 20,000 Rand as your output VAT. Clearly in this scenario here, you can see that the output VAT is greater. Sorry, let me repeat that. Your input VAT, which is the 100,000, is greater than your output VAT. Okay? Remember, I'm showing it to you in a different color so you can see the difference between the two situations. In the second scenario, your input is 100,000 and your output is only 20,000. In this case here, you can see that the 80,000 would be an amount receivable from SARS. Can you see that? Why? Because your input is greater than your output. But the example that we were doing, where we had our output as 213,000, right? In that one there your output was 213,000 and your input was 28,132,5. Right? So yes, you can have a situation where your input is greater than your output. Okay, we're busy with undealer traders. The business is registered as a VAT vendor, 15% VAT is levied. Okay, calculate the amount due or receivable. Clearly you can see again, watch in this one here, you have VAT exclusive of 1,400,000. Clearly a calculation is necessary. There's my calculation, 1,400,000 times the 15% will give me my VAT amount of 210,000. In the second instance, again, you are given the exclusive amount. You know the calculation. It's the 15 over 115 to give you your VAT amount. Your bad debts, the VAT amount is given to you. Your merchandise purchase, your VAT amount is given to you. And your stationery purchase, the VAT amounts are given to you. Look at your calculation. It's a 210,000 plus the 120,000 because those are your outputs. Let's keep them there together. And then let's do the inputs separately. There you can see is what you're going to claim back from SARS. So minus 3045 minus 41412 and minus 2422 will give you an amount of 283,281, which is payable to SARS. So once again, guys, most important, ask yourself the amount, whether it's inclusive or exclusive. Right. Here we find a situation where the internal auditor finds an invoice which is signed and recorded, but the business does not exist. Okay, so clearly this is a case of some kind of fraud taking place. What will have to be done is the owner will have to go back and see how did this happen, because this wholesaler that we supposedly bought goods from does not exist. Clearly, this is an attempt at tax evasion. We've dealt with this at length. We know it's unethical, illegal, and a crime. So therefore, we must always do the right thing to ensure that we are fully compliant in terms of the law. Okay, guys, we've done a lot of calculations for you in this segment of the lesson. Please note, in summary, when you're calculating your VAT, if it's inclusive, it will always be 15 over 115, and if it's you just calculating the VAT amount, you'll add 15% to the amount exclusive of VAT. And sometimes you may be asked to calculate the sales amount. Then obviously your calculation will be 100 over 115. From me, Ashraf Patel, and the team, until the next time, aim for the moon. Perchance if you don't get there, you're definitely going to be a shining star. Ashraf's shining star. Goodbye.